We're back with Will, Extraordinary Life with Will. Last week we heard about Will's bullying when he was a young boy and how that affected him. Today we're going to talk a little bit further on his journey in this life that he has. We're going to talk about today when he first experimented with drugs. Will, tell us about that and how that affected your life.
Well, it really devastated me. I mean, being a young teenager and being in an environment, when I was 15 years old, I left my mother and stepfather home because my mother remarried and she did not. Well, I shouldn't say that. Her husband really didn't treat me or show me any love. And like I talked about before, it was all about love. That was the thing that I lacked the most in my life was someone to love me, tell me they love me, and show me they love me. So I went back home to my dad, and my dad was in Carrollton, Georgia, and he was in his own relationship, and he was an alcoholic, and he was never home. So that's when I started drinking alcohol and smoking marijuana. I had no parents. I was living in a house all by myself, and there was many times there was no food in the house. I had a loaf of bread, a dozen of eggs, and some Kool-Aid, and my dad would come by on Friday and leave leave me there. So I partied and I drank and I got into the drinking a lot. And, when I turned 16 years old, I got my first DUI and went to jail. And it just started this domino effect. And before you know it, it's alcohol every night. I'm hanging out. I'm driving cars down the street. I'm so intoxicated that I just throw up all in the windshield of the car. Can't see. It's really a sad story for a 16 or teenager to be carrying on that way. But what I've learned after writing my story is I suppressed my feelings. And the way that I learned to medicate my feelings was with alcohol. That was my escape from reality. I didn't want to be the person that I was. I wanted to be anything but that. I mean, you read my story. I rapped. I've been MC Rocky Payne. I've been all these different people. But the reality was I really didn't want to be who I was, and I needed a way to medicate my feelings and my emotions, because from my childhood to my teenager years, everything was suppressed. I had no way of processing that. No one, for an example, and I love my mother to this day, and I understand that there are generational curses. And sometimes the lack of love comes from the grandparent to the mother to the son. But I can't fault my parents for the way they treated me because they didn't receive it. They didn't receive it from their parents. So, today I've learned to live my life. I've learned how to forgive and forget and not hold resentments against other people. I've learned how to love. I've learned how to treat people with respect. And, and not only that, I understand what I've been through and how I got there and what it took to get from that place.
Wow, wow. I mean, there's more. I mean, there's so much more. So stay tuned. To find out more about Will and how his journey ends, go to Jackie Brown Productions.